Jamboard is a really cool app that Google has through Google Classroom that you can use when you're teaching, but that students can also interact with as part of your lessons. So, if you want to create a Jamboard, you go onto your Google Apps, your waffle, and you have some choices here for apps. If you go all the way down to these choices, you'll see something that says Jamboard. So if you click on this, I made one before. I'm going to make a new Jam by pressing that plus sign at the bottom. And Jamboard is cool because it's a little smart board on Google Classroom. So if you wanted to create a lesson on here, you can change the background. So you might want a dotted page, lined, array in white and blue, or sorry, I said array, grid paper, or grid paper in gray, or you can have a plain blue or a plain black background. So if you wanted to assign work with some drawing, then this would be a good place to do it. So we could create a lesson on here by using the pen. You can do pen, marker, highlighter, or brush on here. And you can also change the color of the pen. So say I wanted green, and I'm going to make an array here. Now, it's not going to be the straightest or the most precise, but in order for kids to draw and interact, it's going to be the best that we can do. So if I wanted to draw this array, I would draw it here, and if I wanted to give some directions, you can write with the pen, but might be easier to use a sticky note. So maybe my directions are write the dimensions of this array. What is the area of the rectangle? I might want to make that 2 separate sticky notes or 1. I can change the color, or I can have no color. And then I can put it up as directions, or I can make notes with these. I can also change this to make it bigger or smaller, move it around. And then if I save this, so I'm just gonna put, task 1. So if I save this, now I can share this as a post on my classroom. So it's saved just like a Google Slide or a Google Doc. It's in your drive now. So if I go to my DOE drive, it should come up under recent. So here's the one I just made, or it should be in my Google Classroom, and I created it in this one that I've been practicing on. Or it's just in my drive. So it's not in my classroom, it's in here. So it's just going to be in my files. It's right here. It's not in the Google Classroom folder. I thought it was going to be. So now what I can do, if I want the kids to interact with this, I can post it as an assignment. So I'll add to this September 14th. So I'm going to create an assignment, and it's going to be array. Oh, well, if it's going to be math. One day I'll learn how to spell activity. Activity. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to say use the drawing tools on the Jamboard to answer the questions. What are the dimensions of the array? I don't think I put a question mark when I was doing it before. or I worded it differently. I can always go back and fix it. What is the area of the rectangle? And we know we can also put these directions with our voice if we want to. We can add that audio. But right now what I want to do is I want to add that Jamboard that I just created so that students can interact with it. So I'm going to insert that task 1, and I'm going to make sure that each student gets a copy. So every student will be able to do this activity and send it back. They will be able to use the drawing tools. They will be able to interact with that Jamboard and use the grid paper that's in the background. And I can assign this. I'll put the date for that day that I set it for. It was for my pretend date was September 14th. It's not going to be graded, but I do want to put it in September 14th, and then I can assign it. And then when the students see it, they will be able to use the Jamboard to create their excuse me, answer for the math activity. So then it's right here, and here's our task in the Jamboard. The students will get this, and they will be able to answer the questions.